Hey everybody, I'm Brian Dwyer, president of Robert Edward Auctions, and I'm here today joined by Joe Corso, one of our copywriters. We're coming off of an incredible May Encore auction with a record number of bidders, nearly 4,000 lots, just over 4,000 lots. And Joe, you as one of our copywriters had the opportunity to touch a lot of these items as they came through your office. What were you most excited about, and kind of now looking back on the results, what stands out to you as far as the results of this auction?
Yeah, I mean, I think this auction was just, reaffirming of what we talk about all the time about the hobby being an awesome, awesome place. We had a record number of bidders for one of our Encore auctions, and, just kind of watching the bids, especially come in that last day, it was just kind of a further reformation of what a great place the hobby is in right now.
I agree with you, and you don't have to look further than this card right here, lot number 1, this 41 play ball Joe DiMaggio. This is a card that when we got it in, I was really struck by how well centered it was. It's a tough card to find in high grade. What stood out to you when you wrote this card, which, by the way, sold for $90,000, a record for an SGC card, and just $3,000 short of the all-time record for any 41 play ball DiMaggio 8?
Yeah, I mean, it's an exceptional card in every way. I mean, like you said, the centering really jumps out to you. It's pretty much perfect in that sense. And then just the crispness and the vibrant colors. I mean, again, this card's from 1941 and it looks like it's right off the sheet. I mean, it's an 8, but it's pretty incredible and close to perfect, and in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it's funny you talk about being right off the sheet. We had a bunch of uncut strips of this 41 play ball set. We had that great find out in Western Pennsylvania a couple months ago, and we've been selling strips from that find. 41, very significant year for DiMaggio, 56-game hit streak. So really exciting that this card sold for as much as it did. I know that you're a T206 guy, so we had a ton of great 40s and 30s cards. We'll get to some of those in a bit.
Yep.
But I got to ask you about the Old Mill Cobb, because I know you were really excited when that card came in.
Yeah, I mean, for anyone who collects T206, obviously, every collector knows the T206 Honus Wagner, the rare plank card. But, outside of those two key rarities, Ty Cobb is considered the obtainable star, and Cobb, as you know, and as many of our viewers know, Cobb has 4 cards in the set, and the green Cobb, the green portrait, is considered by far his rarest and probably his most desirable. What made this card so exceptional and what got me really excited is, it has this rare Old Mill advertising back, and you just don't see them very much. I think PSA is graded 10. Green Cobbs with Old Mill advertising backs, and just kind of seeing one in person it's a sight to behold. It's an exceptional card.
Yeah, $18,000 for it in a PSA 2, which is more than, certainly I have a green Cobb in my collection, and it's more than I paid for mine in a higher grade.
Same as me, yeah.
It really tells you how tough that
Absolutely.
card is with that Old Mill back. More than 800 T206s in this auction. Consistently, hundreds and hundreds of T206s coming in for every auction, monthly premier catalog auctions.
Yep.
Again, you're a big T206 guy. Talk to me about how popular that set is and why, these cards, no matter how many we have, they always do really well.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing with T206 is there's just so many different ways to collect it, right? I mean, you've got guys who are collecting them, in ultra high grade, for example, we had a T206, Jack Warhop PSA 8, right, which is would be a cornerstone to any world class ultra high grade collection. You can collect it by team, you can collect it by backs, you can collect it by PSA or SGC. You can put together a binder set. We saw some raw lots as well. I just think there are so many of the game's, recognizable early stars, Cobb.
You have Walter Johnson. We have this PSA 6 that sold really well, second highest price ever realized for a PSA 6. By the way, the highest price realized in our spring auction just last month.
Yep, I remember that card.
So, really, really tremendous selection. And you're right. I mean, T206, there's a lot of different ways to collect it. And, there's no wrong way to collect anything.
Absolutely.
And that's what always excites me about these Encore auctions. We had cards in this auction from 1887. We have this King Kelly. here that sold really well, gorgeous image. And then we had modern cards right up to 2022 and 2023 issues. Talk to me about these Encore auctions. You know, again, you have 19th century, you have modern, you have sport, non-sport, you have cards, unopened. When you look at these Encore auctions, what do you think of them? I mean, I think they're very exciting. You never know what's going to be in them.
Yeah,
as a writer.
Absolutely. I think they're really exciting, and I think they provide access to, you know, access of entry for pretty much everyone. You know, you've got cards that, you know, are selling for $20, $30, right? And then you've got cards like this DiMaggio that sell for $90,000, and, you know, you can get key names, you know, at very affordable, you know, prices. And I think that's what's exciting to me is that, you know, these Encore auctions allow everybody to get involved.
Yeah.
And get into the action.
You know, you look at some of the items that we have here and you think about some of the items that were in this auction. You know, we have really great cut signatures. We have Ty Cobb, we have Roberto Clemente, both of whom, I mean, we see probably more fakes of these guys than authentic signatures. So, you know, when you were writing this Cobb, again, just not to harp on the fact that you're a vintage guy and a pre-war guy, but, you know, you see that Ty Cobb signature. What goes through your mind?
Well, the first thing that stands out to me, Brian, is the green ink. You know, that's what Cobb trademark green ink. So, you know, anytime I see that, that gives me a, you know, a smile. But yeah, I mean, just seeing like how clean that signature is. Obviously, Cobb signed, you know, a decent amount. You see, you know, especially a lot of like personal like bank checks and whatnot. But to see a cut like this, like where, you know, again, the signature is really fresh. You know, the cut itself, you know, is pretty clean.
Yeah.
You know, it's a really nice display piece. I mean, you know, whoever, you know, won that, you know, it's gonna look really well on their desk or, you know, somewhere in their office, man cave, whatever. So yeah.
So, you know, we're talking about baseball a lot, but I want to get to this Bobby Orr card here. So this SGC 9 67 Topps hockey card, that set a record for any SGC 9 Bobby Orr card from that year. You've seen, again, you know, you write a lot of the stuff that comes in for Encore auctions. You write a lot of the stuff that comes in for the catalog auctions. I personally think that hockey cards are tremendously undervalued.
Absolutely.
And I'm curious, you know, you've been in the hobby a long time. You see this stuff come through our office. Talk to me about what you think about the non-baseball sports.
Yeah, I mean, just to kind of like stick to hockey, right? I mean, Bobby Orr, you know, arguably the greatest defenseman of all time, right? He won the Norris, I believe, 8 times. I mean, you know, there are still deals to be had on, I think there's still a lot of runway for, you know, kind of the key stars in hockey. You think of like Gordie Howe, Bobby Orr, even Gretzky, and then, you know, just to kind of segue that, you know, we've got the, you know, Ovechkin rookie card right there. You know, I grew up in the DC area, and, you know, Ovechkin's number 2 to, you know, Gretzky, and is, you know, looking to catch him in the next couple seasons. And then also the Connor McDavid card as well, the Connor McDavid rookie card, who's, you know, widely considered one of the greatest, you know, considered the best player playing today.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's exciting to see, you know, especially on the hockey front, and then, you know, also, you know, just kind of talking about other sports. You know, what about this Topps Chrome box as well? That was a pretty cool piece as well.
Absolutely. So that came in, you know, that was something that I took in just right before the auction launched. So consignor came in, never would have expected him to have this box, but he came in and we were able to put it in the Encore auction as a featured lot. Got a great price, nearly $20,000.
Yeah.
And this is a box that was exciting when it was issued. You know, it had a great crop of rookies, Kobe Bryant in it. And now 20 plus years later, people are still excited by it. You know, I don't know that I would rip it at that price level, but I know there are people that do. And unopened, I mean, we're selling hundreds of unopened lots every auction. It's such a really passionate, emerging area in the hobby. It's something that I collect myself. I mean, I think people would be surprised that I, for the last 2 or 3 years, have gone in and been buying a lot of unopened boxes and packs. But, you know, I love it. And I think as people open it, it gets rare.
Absolutely.
So, Yeah, I mean, I think these items are really poised for great success in the future.
Absolutely, yeah. It's just, even though this was, we offer, an opened that's, a lot older than this, but even so, to see, a mid-90s box like this just kind of looking just like it did probably when you would go to a store to go buy it.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And, you obviously you can resist the urge, but, that's one of the reasons I don't, do unopened is because I wouldn't be able to
Gotta
know what's inside, find that Kobe rookie or, that Steve Nash or Allen Iverson, yeah, but it's really, really an exceptional piece for sure.
The other thing that I like, and this is a card that I know you had in your personal collection at one time, this Wilson Franks Ted Williams. That is a set that I don't think a lot of people are familiar with, and I don't think a lot of people realize how cool of a set it is. I mean, we sold at one point in time an uncut sheet of that set. Talk to me about what you loved about that card, why you had it in your collection, and this, I mean, turned in an incredible price, so people must be thinking it's a great card.
Yeah, I mean, outside of, Williams' 39 play ball rookie, I mean, this is my favorite Williams card. I mean, I just think it's got a lot of really cool things going for it, right? It's a regional set. There's only 20 cards. Williams is obviously the big key card within the set. And I just think it's really a card that speaks to classic like Americana. You've got Williams in a full, bad pose. You've got the hot dogs going up, right above his image. I just think the card is so awesome in a lot of ways. And this one is, particularly nice. I mean, it's only got a 2 grade. But, a lot of these cards, their method of distribution was in, hot dog packs,
yeah,
right? So most of them that you see have like heavy staining. And this one is, free of that. So this is, an exceptional card. And has long been a personal favorite of mine.
No, I agree with you. And I mean, for 20 cards, the Wilson set has Campanella and Feller and Williams. I mean, it's just got great player selection, very colorful. The hot dog packs look like they're going to hit them right in the head on all these cards. So yeah, you're right. It's very cool. That's obviously graded by PSA. We see a bunch of SGC cards in the frame here. And I thought this auction was really a great one for SGC. I thought that, this DiMaggio, this Orr, these Ruth cards, they all sold very strong, established a bunch of new records for the grade. Talk to me about SGC. I think people sometimes think SGC is really, pre-war only or tobacco cards only, 19th century only. But we're seeing cards from the 30s, 40s, 60s setting records. What do you think?
I think, SGC has, rightfully established itself, at the very tippy top, when it comes to, the grading companies. And I think the prices that, have been realized for their cards show that. I mean, I feel like they have, they're very fair when it comes to their grading. And, people recognize that and are willing to pay a premium because they, of the brand and reputation that SGC has cultivated over the years. So, as someone who has, a couple of big SGC cards in my, personal collection as well, it's always, positive to see that, others think highly of the brand as well. Because, again, if it was just, some random grading company with these cards, obviously that same sort of trust wouldn't be there. But, SGC has put itself right up there with PSA, at the tippy top.
No, I agree with you. I mean, I think a lot of people know I worked at SGC for a period of time. I believe in them. I believe in their grading. To your point, it's fair, it's accurate.
Yep.
And I'm happy that the market's establishing, that these cards deserve the prices that they get. So you think about what we had in this auction. Again, 4,002 lots. What was your favorite lot in this auction?
My favorite lot in this auction, I'd probably have to go with the Wilson Franks Williams, because it was a card that I had used to own. And I remember that card actually being up at another auction a couple years before, in that exact card. And it was a card that I had lost out on. So to just kind of see it pass through in here, and that was what prompted me to buy mine later on. Just to see it pass through and to confirm that it was as great as it looked online. That was a cool thing to see, and just to kind of see things kind of come full circle as well.
Yeah. So, speaking of things come through, you see a lot of the stuff that comes into the auction, sometimes even before I see it. The stuff goes onto your desk for these descriptions to be written. You're already working on the June auction. You're already working on the summer catalog auction, which will launch in July. Tell me, what are you most excited about that you've seen already come across your desk?
Well, speaking about the T206s just in particular, we have a very exciting card that was recently discovered that you're aware of as well, that we'll make public at a later time, featuring one of the greats. It's not a Wagner, but it's a new to the hobby card, and for somebody who really kind of likes the intricacies of the set, it's pretty special, and I'm excited for us to share that, when the time comes. What about yourself?
So piggybacking off what you said, when that lead came into our office, I couldn't believe it, and luckily you were able to secure it for us, and it's out for grading right now. I think about all the stuff that we've got coming in. We've just got so many great collections. We've got some exciting boxing cards coming up that we don't always get the chance to feature. We've got some great collections that we're going through right now. We have a consignor story on our website about a family in California where all the cards were stored in ammunition tins. And
unbelievable.
We're still going through and figuring out what's in there. We've got a lot of stuff out for grading. So that's a collection that I'm keeping my eye on because there's a lot of hidden treasure in there.
Absolutely.
But this auction that just ended, a lot of great stuff. We've got a Star Wars, the #1 registry set of Star Wars. I don't know if you saw that yet.
I do. I actually have the Luke Skywalker card PSA 10, on my desk right now.
There's fewer than 10 of them, I think.
I think it's like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. So stuff comes in here every day. You never know what's going to be on the other end of the phone call. You never know what's going to be in any of these packages. There could be some stuff coming in while you and I are chatting that we'll be super excited about.
Absolutely.
So it's always fun to build the auctions.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, that's obviously one of my favorite parts of working here is just kind of never knowing what you're going to see on any given day. And, sometimes you get a message or you receive a call and you're just like, wow, that's actually out there. And then to have it come through the door is pretty amazing.
Yeah. Well, cool. Joe, I appreciate you taking a couple minutes here to chat with me. Appreciate all that you do in writing these and getting these cards out to auction for our clients. For all of those watching at home, stay tuned to our website, robertedwardauctions.com. We're launching our June Encore auction here in a couple weeks. We're still accepting consignments for our summer catalog auction. Those items will be at the National Convention in Illinois this summer on display. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to us via email, and you can stay tuned to all of our social channels where we're going to let some of these items sneak peeks out in the coming days and weeks. Thanks very much.